Hello and welcome. I am so grateful you're here. I'm just doing the Palo Santo thing, clearing the energy for us all. It is a new moon in Virgo week, and it is going to be such a sweet new moon. I'm feeling really good about the energy, especially our ability to transition and transform and make the changes that we know are necessary to help us feel good in our bodies, good in our minds, good in our souls, because that's really what this new moon in Virgo is all about. I'm going to do things a little bit differently with you today and share my screen. I have made a little cute little presentation and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna do it this way today. So I hope you enjoy. Here we go. All right, so today we have a Virgo new moon. The date is September 2nd when I'm filming this. And the Virgo new moon will be exact at 9:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 6:55 p.m. if you are Pacific, change for your time zone. That is when the energy peaks, when it is exact. It's the best time to do a meditation or do your intentions. The energy for this new moon is all about being grounded. Virgo is an earth sign, graceful. Virgo is mutable. It allows for change, it allows for shifting and adaptability, which is really what grace can bring us. It is, flowing with the changes. And as always, our gratitude. Gratitude always lifts the vibe, it always shifts the frequency. And when we are in a grateful place, when we feel gratitude in our heart, it is so much easier for us to flow into our intentions and what we want to cultivate and what we want to create in our lives. There has been so many studies done of what the emotion of gratitude does to the brain and the neural plasticity in the brain, our ability to create a new way of being and thinking in our lives. So here is the chart for this new moon. We have the moon and the sun in Virgo, both at 11 degrees. So you're going to want to check where in your chart is the sign of Virgo. What planets do you have there? What is the house that the sign Virgo is in? Because that is really where the energy is being focused and pulled. That's where a lot of the details are going to come into play. And that's where what you are really being called to focus on, being called to put your priorities in order, are right here in this Virgo house in your chart. Now, you might notice that there is a red line across the circle to Saturn in Pisces. So, Saturn is the opposing sign of Virgo. We say that it's on the axis. So, we're working with the axis of Virgo and Pisces. Virgo is grounded, mutable energy. It is let me get to the details, let me put things in order, let me make sure that I'm feeling organized, or that I forget feeling that I am organized, so that my day to day routines, my habits, my life, my brain can be more at peace. Virgo finds peace in the details, in the organization, in the multiple colored markers and highlighters and post it notes and sticky tabs and whatever it is that helps create an easeful and graceful process. Pisces is the bigger picture. It is not about the details at all. It is about stepping way back, stepping way, way, way back, and being able to see where you're at in this chapter of your life, seeing it with compassion, seeing it with grace, seeing it with so much love. Pisces, in its highest frequency, is about unconditional love. It's about being able to let go, being able to release. It's the last sign of the zodiac wheel. So we really are talking about the culmination of all the energy and a letting go. All right, so what we want to consider as we set intentions on this Virgo new moon, as we move into this space, is we want to consider and remember that Mercury was retrograde from August 1st until August 28th. And that really set the stage up for this moment. So Mercury will be in its shadow 2 weeks after it goes direct. There's a shadow period, which is like, giving us some space before it is just fully in the clear. Now, Mercury is the planet that aligns with Virgo and also Gemini. So, this mental energy, this communication, thinking energy has been in focus for quite some time now. So, we want to ask ourselves, what feels most important to prioritize now? Because Mercury retrograde brought us awareness around what in our lives wanted to be revamped, renewed, and reconsidered. Retrograde planets, when a planet is in retrograde, it allows us to see maybe what's not working, what wants to be shifted around, and we can be more reflective. We can slow down to really get the clarity on what we need. So now that Mercury is direct and we are now at the Virgo new moon, we can begin to implement whatever the awareness was that came through over the month of August into practical steps, into practical guidance, into action. Now, another key player during this time is Uranus. Uranus went retrograde on September 1st, and Uranus will be retrograde all the way until the end of the year and the first month of the year into January 25th of 2025. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So it's really lining up with this Virgo Mercury energy. It offers us new and elevated thinking. It offers us breakthroughs and downloads and the opportunity to change what is no longer aligned. Uranus is the planet of change, the planet of breakthrough and quick, sudden shifting. As humans, we are normally not that into changing, being outside of our comfort zone, expanding into the unknown, leaping into faith, fully trusting the process. Those are qualities that take time to lean into, they take time to grow into, they take spiritual practice. So Uranus is the planet that in its highest frequency helps us make the dense energy of being human thinned out. It lifts the frequency up and it activates change. So we are in this activation point of change. The new moon is also opposing Saturn in Pisces. Saturn asks us to take responsibility for our lives. And Saturn gives us this not always gentle nudge, yet with the Pisces energy, which I feel is very sweet, it can go through all the range of the human emotions. But during this new moon, I'm feeling the sweetness of it, the trust energy of it. Saturn's giving us this nudge to actually take actions on what is truly most important for our soul's journey. And that chapter, that page that's turning, it's going to be in the part of your birth chart where Virgo is, just to kind of remind you of that space. So you want to focus on that part of your birth chart. Saturn in Pisces helps us to connect to our stillness. It helps us pause. Saturn asking us to take responsibility for coming into stillness, for coming into our intuition, for coming into our inner knowing. As a collective, while Saturn is in Pisces, we have been asked to do things in a more spiritual way, or in a more intuitive way, in a way where we're really listening to our own internal guidance that's always speaking to us. Yet Pisces sign helps us remember that in order to get that guidance, often we need to distill the external disruptions and all of that that's coming in all of the time, to distill it down and to come into more quiet space. It also reminds us that we are not in a race. Pisces is not in a rush. If you have a Pisces friend, you know that they are, an hour on time that's really an hour late for everybody else. No shade here. Just dropping the truth over here. Pisces is not interested in time at all, right? They are timeless, they're infinite. They trust the process. I'll get there when I get there. So we can move at our own sacred pace. And this is what we're being reminded of during this time, to move at our own sacred pace. Now, when we set intentions with the Virgo new moon, we want to understand the qualities of Virgo, the health, the details, the purity, the sacredness of it. Pisces is the opposite sign. It's like the big picture. Virgo is let's now zone in, tune in, and focus. This new moon is the gateway for prioritizing our well being and our health, and what helps us, whatever it is that we know will help us improve the quality of our lives on a detail oriented level. While Saturn in Pisces is asking us to do this with care and compassion and gentleness and kindness, because Virgo isn't always the nicest energy. It can be internally critical. It can be hard on itself. It can say, hey, you know what? You didn't go to bed when you said you were going to go to bed, and therefore, like, you're a bad person. You messed up again. Curses to you. You're a failure. And we know that these things are not true. So the higher octave of Pisces is, let's have some like grace. Let's have some grace with ourselves. Let's have some compassion. We're not looking for perfection. We are simply looking to take the actions that are going to allow us to feel really good about ourselves, that are going to allow us to really love ourselves exactly as we are. Virgo in the body rules the intestines and the central nervous system. So if you think about the intestines and like being constipated, we are looking to move any stuck and stagnant energy out of the intestines, out of our brain, out of our spaces. So maybe you need some Drano, to declog your pipes. Maybe you need some more lemon water or whatever it is. We're looking to clean up certain areas of our lives and ground our energy, especially because this new moon is setting us up for the eclipses. The first eclipse we are going to have at the third or 2 weeks from now, in the middle of September, and it's going to be a full moon eclipse. So we want to feel really good, really prepared, and really grounded, as the eclipses aren't really a time to manifest. They're more of a time to receive, to experience fated change, and to be in the energy of trust. So we can Marie Kondo our lives. We can Marie Kondo our closet, clean our homes, we can rearrange our space, and it's all in service to sparking joy and creating more harmony and creating more ease in our lives. There could be shifts in how we care for our health and mental well-being, either through adding a new ritual or a routine, especially things that are related to the physical and the mental wellness, because Virgo is about the material plane. It's an earth sign. So we're talking about working with our body, working with our organs. So this could look like waking up and going outside for a walk instead of waking up and checking your phone. No one does that, right? You don't do that, right? Wake up, get sunlight in your eyes, connect to our nature, connect to nature. Journaling in the morning, drinking lemon water, taking healthy breaks through the day, going to sleep earlier, getting more organized, more detail oriented, more focused, whatever it is that you might add that's going to support your well being. Or it could look like removing something. Virgo's very good at removing. It sheds. It says, you know what? This is a distraction. I'm going to set it aside. You know what? This isn't working for me. I'm going to change it. So removing something that causes dis-ease. That word disease, it breaks down to dis-ease, without ease, with stress. So removing too much thinking. Virgo loves to analyze, removing overanalyzation, distraction, or removing simply anything that is not supporting our health. TV, electronics before bed. Maybe you have been eating a lot of sugar, drinking a lot of soda, or watching too much Netflix. Whatever it is, if you know your intuition is asking you to shift something, now is a really beautiful time to set intentions on shifting and releasing. Virgo reflections to consider. What might my intuition be guiding me towards in this chapter of my life? Saturn in Pisces, intuition is helping activate this energy inside of ourselves. Where might I be putting too much pressure on myself to be ahead of where I am, or to be better, or to be more perfect? Virgo comes in hot with the pressure. So we want to lean back a little bit. And if the pressure comes in, it's in service to our divinity. It's pressure, the kind of pressure that can create a diamond, not the kind of pressure that is going to squish ourselves and make ourselves feel smaller. How can I practice trusting my unique timing and my unique journey? This is so Piscean, Saturn and Pisces, trusting the timing, trusting that where you're at is exactly where you're meant to be right now. Have I been too critical? Virgo. Yes, the answer is yes before I even finish the sentence. Have I been too critical of myself? And can I allow for my imperfections to simply be the beauty, to be the beauty that is part of me? If you've ever gone into nature, ever once in your life, you've seen a tree, you know that a tree has a branch going this way and a branch going that way, and it's jagged and it's rough. Sometimes it's smooth. They all look different. And our human brains might say, you know what? This mole, it's not perfect. My shoulders are too big. My hips are too wide. My feet are too big. Whatever it is that we think isn't perfect is actually the most perfect and beautiful part of our nature. What habits or actions do I want to prioritize for my physical, emotional, and spiritual health? Now is the time to set those intentions. Can I allow for progress without feeling like it has to be perfect? What do I really want to cultivate in the next 28-day cycle? And what actions can I take to support my desires? So we are in this new moment of cultivation. We are in this new moment of the gate being open, the gateway being open to prioritizing our health, our well-being, and doing it in a way that comes from the most deep seated sense of self-love, self-trust, self-care. Happy new moon in Virgo. I hope that you have a really loving, sweet, and beautiful moon. I hope that you set intentions. Bringing in art is a great way to work with this new moon, since we're opposing Saturn in Pisces, and Pisces is art. It is not the kind of art that, a professional artist does. It's the kind of art where you might draw a vision of your future desires, or you might use your imagination, your third eye, to envision it and then draw it, or you might write a poem or sing a song or do something that is creative. Pisces and Virgo love creativity, and we can really tune into this axis from that point. So happy Virgo New Moon. I am so grateful that you stayed with me, if you stayed the whole entire video, thank you so much, you blessed, beautiful soul. I love, love, love it when you comment. So comment below. If this resonated, you might comment what your intentions are, or just one intention. What's one intention that you are bringing forward into the next 28-day cycle that is then going to be plugged into our experience in eclipse season? Have a beautiful new moon. I will see you on the other side.